Hello and welcome to a short video from my Introduction to Networks class to explain once again the assignments. I think there's some confusion over the assignments in our Introduction to Networks class. So I made some changes to one format in the class, and I want to use this video to help you understand the different assignments in the class. To begin with, now that if you go into our Introduction to Networks class, which is this fall 2020 class, you'll see I changed the main page to go directly to modules. That way you don't have to click on the modules item to go over to modules. It just takes you automatically over to modules. You will notice that in each one of these, you are to read the content for the modules. Now, if you want to read the content, you click on the course content, Introduction to Networks course. It's going to open up a new window, and you click on the button to load the course in a new window, and that will open up the course content. Now, this content is the written content for the class, and it will allow you to go in and read the individual modules. So go in here right now. So for module 1, you read module 1, go through, look at the introduction, read it, go all the way through and continue forward. So you're going to be reading each one of these modules. We went over module 1 a little bit last week, and we're going to go over module 2 and 3 a little bit more today, but especially module 2 as we look at how to configure devices. Now, inside of the modules, you will then see that there are certain assignments that are due. So for instance, in module 1, you'll see that you've had the assignment, the packet tracer 157, and you've got a lab. Now, in this particular class, or this particular module, the packet tracer, when you click on it, it tells you to go to that packet tracer, download it, complete it, and then upload it to into the class. So you retrieve the activity, you complete it, and then upload it. Now, one of the items I would like for you to do is to put your name at the end of your upload. Many of you are uploading the packet tracers, but you're not putting your name with it. It makes it a little bit harder for me to grade those packet tracers. Now, I'm going to go down and show you a couple things here on module 2. I want to show you there are a couple different types of packet tracers, and I mentioned these look and see packet tracers. So I've downloaded this first packet tracer, which is 237. So I'm going to go to 237 and open it. Now, inside of the packet tracer, you will see a lot of times it pops up and says a user profile. Just click OK. You can put your name in there if you want. Just click OK. You will see that this particular packet tracer, as you go in here, and I'm just going to put it on the right-hand side here. As you go in here, you'll see that it says establish a console connection between S1 and Pc1. To do that, folks, you'll go to your Connections tab here, Connections icon. You'll get your console cable, and this is just like in the real world. If you were going to go in here and click on Connect to a console or a COM port or a serial DB9 port, then go to the switch and connect to the console port on the switch. In the real world, this would be possibly a USB to serial connection because most PCs today do not have DB9 serial connectors on them. All right. But then once we've connected this, we can go to the desktop. We can go to the terminal and set our settings. So 9600 8N1, no flow control. Click OK. We're now into the out-of-band management on the switch. We can type enable to get into our privileged exec mode, shown by the pound sign here, and then go on through and do the lab. So C question mark. You'll notice even with the check results, when I do check results under the assessment items, the only thing that they had is one item here, which you get correct if you connect the cable and you do this particular packet tracer. There's not a large number of items under the assessment items you have to do on this particular packet tracer. So this is more of what I've said before and talked about in class, a look and see packet tracer. Now, once you're finished with it, I do want you to go in here and go File, Save As, and just put your name at the end. So just at the end of iOS here or at the beginning, either one. You could put put Caudle if you just want to put your last name, that's fine. I'll put my last name. And then save this. And once you save it, this will then be the file that you upload back up into Netacad for me. Also, if the packet tracer has if it does have a check results Go back over here. If it has a check results and there's assessment items here, I want you to take the snipping tool, okay, and do a quick snip of your activity results here. Just do this and save it. File, save as. You can just save this as, what was this, PT. You can just leave it as capture.png, or you can give it the name of the PT itself. So this is, I think it's PT. I have to go look because I don't remember off the top of my head, but it's 237. So you just call it PT 237, okay? And when you upload your assignment in here, you're going to upload the saved PKA file that you had, and you're going to upload this particular snip, all right? Now, with the look and see packet tracers, it's not that big a deal because there's not a lot of assessment items. But I want to show you the difference between what I call a look and see packet tracer and a configuration packet tracer. So later down here, we've got this 255, which is configure initial switch settings. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to open this packet tracer up. Once again, you'll have to click on this user profile. Just click OK here. And then you will see now that we've got a packet tracer that's going to ask us to do some things. You'll see also this one now has a completion or percentage item on the bottom right. So as I go in here, it says click on S1. All right. Go to the CLI tab and hit enter. So now we're in a switch that is in user exec mode. So the look and see mode instead of configuration mode. It tells you type in enable to get into privilege exec mode where we can actually do configuration. Has you do the show run and config, but then it tells you to do configure terminal or configure, and you can remember tab out commands. All right. And what's in here, one of the first commands it has you do is it says, let's do hostname S1. So I'm going to put in hostname and then S1 and hit enter. Notice that I immediately get a completion of 6% down here in the bottom right-hand corner. This is because this packet tracer, if you do a check results, you'll see that under assessment items, it tells you all the things you have to do in order to get 100%. This is why I'm asking you to do that snip at the end of your packet tracers. So once I go through and complete all of the configuration on this packet tracer, so all the different items it would ask me to do, okay, all the way through in here. So I'm going to go into line con 0, line console 0. By the way, you can shorten commands, line con 0. I'm going to do password of let me in. You'll notice again, look at my percentage goes to 12% down here. Okay, put in the login command and to make it use login, now it goes to 18%. So as I'm doing these tasks, okay, it is actually showing under the assessment items and I'm completing those items. So if you ever don't have 100%, okay, on everything except for troubleshooting packet tracers, if you don't have 100%, okay, on completion, go to check results and look under assessment items and it will tell you what you have missed. So again, for all packet tracers, please complete the packet tracer, save it, save as, put your last name at the beginning. That's probably the easiest thing to do. So just put your last name at the beginning, upload that file along with a snip showing the check results and assessment items. So do me a snip that shows these. That way I don't have to open every single one of them to check and see what you missed. This will also tell you what you missed. So if you miss it, you're missing something, you can fix whatever errors you have. So that's our packet tracers. Again, we've got some look and see packet tracers like the one that I showed you, which was 237. And we've got configuration packet tracers, which are 255. Now the final actual assignment item you have here are the labs. Now the labs, if they're not a written lab assignment, like in chapter 1, this was just a written lab assignment. You went in, downloaded the PDF, converted it to a Word doc, and answered the questions inside this lab. But for these labs, you need to go to netlabs.stanley.edu and complete the lab. So for instance, basic switch and in-device configuration. Go to NetLabs, you go to New Lab Reservation, Schedule Lab for myself. You'll find our class, which for us this summer is the KFC ITN Fall 2020. Then you'll go to the CCNA 1 MDP Pod Labs at the very top here. So the first item, you don't need a skills assessment till the end of class, so just the first item here. And you will see listed basic switch and end device configuration. Click here, pick a pod. The red line is right now, so you can click on the red line and do your lab right now, or you can go to in the future, do it tomorrow, do it this weekend, okay? Also be aware, folks, that there aren't just 4 pods. If you keep going out here, there are up to 11 pods that are available. I've already made a reservation for myself, so you will see that I've got my basic switch and end device configuration. So I click right here, enter lab. And inside this lab, I have my 2 switches, 2 PCs. I also have this content tab. Now this is super important. When you're doing the labs, you go to the content tab and you use this content, this because it has been updated for NetLabs. So when you're working inside of NetLabs to do this particular lab, use the document inside of NetLabs. You'll see I now have a real switch. This is a Cisco switch, a real piece of gear running in our data center. So it's not a simulation. It's not the sim that is Packet Tracer. You also have 2 PCs that are virtualized PCs. It is extremely important, folks, that you do these labs from the modules inside of NetLabs. You're not to build them in Packet Tracer and then upload a Packet Tracer. I'm glad you can use Packet Tracer, and Packet Tracer is great, but I need to see you actually using the real gear inside of NetLabs. What I can do in here is I actually have the ability through looking at usage and reports, I can actually go in and see every single command that you've typed in the lab. So I can actually see that you're doing the lab. If you just take and turn in a Packet Tracer, I can't really see that you've done anything other than just build a Packet Tracer. So once again, ensure that you do the Packet Tracers. If it has a check items or a assessment item, take me a screenshot of that and upload it. Labs are to be done in NetLabs. Last but not least, we do have chapter exams, and those module exams you will see down here in the module exams item. You'll notice there are groups. Once we finish 1 through 3, you will do this exam. 4 through 7, the next exam, and so on and so forth. I'll talk more about that in class tonight. This particular recording is just to get you looking again at how Packet Tracers work versus our labs in this class. So I hope this was helpful, and I hope it will help you as you move forward in our Introduction to Networks class.